Okay, guys, welcome to all those that are joining us here for this, I think, third or fourth Thursday webinar that we've done here. We continue to do them because we continue to add new features. TDI Dev, Erwin continues to just at an amazing pace add new features that are so substantial that they really warrant a webinar like this just to explain them. And then as people are working with it, we're getting lots of feedback, ideas. It's interesting for us to see how people are using it. So I think what we'll do here is similar to the format in the last couple that we've done is I'll let Erwin take over and introduce some of the new features that he's built in, which he's got I'm looking at it, a very profitable algo already teed up and ready to roll. So without any further ado, why don't I turn it over to you, Erwin, and let's take a look at what you've got here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, before we start, I guess by now everyone has seen or heard about the Algo Studio. It's a relatively new product of us, which allows you to build, backtest, optimize, and trade your own algos. If you missed one of our previous webinars, then you can find them all on the product page or on YouTube. So please watch them where we explain a little bit more of the basics. As Sam said, in this webinar, I would like to go over some of the new features. I would like to answer questions you guys may have. And perhaps we can already discuss some of the ideas for the next version. So that's more or less the agenda. So if you have questions, just type them in the chat, and Simon will be looking at those and answering them or passing them over to me so I can answer them for you. And with that, let's just start with one of the first features. So I'm going to over here open this Algo Studio, and one of the requests you guys made, I'm not sure if it was last week, but certainly you made a request, was to be able to use any time frame or higher time frames. As you probably know, you can select which time frame you would like to test over here. By default, it's the current time frame, and when you press new, you could select a couple of time frames like minutes, range bars, and volume. But now you have an option to select any time frame, any bar type, which is installed on your NinjaTrader. So if you have custom bar types from other third parties, you can now use them, and you can select and use them in your own algos.
Ooh, I hadn't seen that.
So, for example, I'm now on a 1 minute. But let's say I want a KG of the, I don't know if this even makes sense, but on a 100 tick range, then and use that in my algo as well, then that would be possible now. So that's how the higher time frames has been extended with this option. Let's see, another thing which you guys requested was the option to turn off or turn on an entire group. So if you have, let's say, multiple groups with conditions, you can now turn on or off the entire group at once. So you don't have to turn on or off each signal in a group. You can just turn off or on the entire group. Which makes it easier to just see what the effect is of the entire group in your performance. So that's the checkbox for the entire group. Then there is, for that I go to the other screen. We added a new option where you can choose what you want to see for each trade. But by default, in the past, you just saw a line and a diagonal line showing the trade and the stop loss and the take profit. as you can see over here, you can now see the background of a trade if you want. You can see the profit in ticks. You can see the risk to reward ratio, the stop loss in ticks. And you can just select what you would like to show by going to the indicator settings, and over here you can turn things on or off. To specify how you would like the trades to appear on your chart. So that's the trades. And then I think the most features we've added were in the ATM optimizer for this version. So let's go over that. And for that, I have an Algo over here, which, well, as you can see, it's not performing that well. And this led me to basically add this feature, because this Algo was pretty profitable on another time frame, but not on the 1 minute time frame. So I was thinking, well, why is it not profitable? And I was looking at the P&L of the day, and I saw that, well, there are times where of the day, for example, between 1 o'clock and 1400 hours, it's very profitable. But then, just before the open, it makes a lot of losers. So I thought, well, why just optimize your ATM for the stop loss and the take profit, your trading stop alone? Why not optimize it as well for the trading hours your Algo is trading? So that's what we added. And now if you open the optimizer, and I can now turn on optimizing for trading hours, yes or no. So let's first turn it off and see how it performs. And when it's running, you can immediately see one of the other new features we added, which is the equity curve in the optimizer. It's the same one as you can see over here, but often these windows overlap, and the one in the background was not visible, and now it's just nicely in the optimizer window, so you can see that it's you can always see it. Well, as you can see, it's not really not really improving over this one. It's unable to find a good combination of the ATM to work. But if I change it, and the only thing I'm now going to say is, okay, also optimize the hours on which the Algo is allowed to trade. So it's going to optimize the ATM, the stop loss, trading stop, and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's now also optimizing the trading hours. It's just going to look at which hours are profitable, which hours are not profitable, and it's going to disable the hours where the strategy is not profitable. And then if I press it again and we leave this running for a moment, you can already see a much better result.
Holy smokes.
It makes a huge difference
Wow.
for this Algo, just by filtering out the periods in which you should not run this Algo.
I had not seen that yet.
So yeah, this is a very, very powerful new option. Of course, for it to be able to determine which hours are profitable or not, you need enough data, enough days of data, right? It makes no sense to optimize this over 3 days of data, because you just don't have enough trades for each period, each time period. So you need for 30 or more days of data before it's more accurate. But yeah, you can see the results already. I mean, it's just so much improved. And now if we stop it, for example, you can already see here, these are the trading hours it's allowed to trade. So it automatically turned it off for the hours which were where it was making a loss. And you can also see it in the reports that well, clearly we should run this between 1 o'clock and 1:30. That's the most profitable time to run this Algo on this time frame and market. This also means that you have to create any time filters anymore in your logic itself. You can still create them if you want, but the ATM now has trading hours built in, so it's much easier to just enable them over here. And that's one of the other features we added, is that you can now just click them and say which hours you want the algo to trade. So that makes it a whole lot easier, especially if you have multiple time periods. For example, let's say you want a London open and a New York open, then this is much easier to configure than adding time ranges and time filters in the logic thing. So that's the one of the big features we added, optimizing the trading hours. Another thing we added, and in the meantime I'm doing the optimization once more, is that after you started the optimizer and when it's finished or you stop it manually, you can see here the best results appearing. And that's the top 25 of all the results it found. Yeah, the best results it found, and you can just click through it and see the changes between those. And maybe you would like how do you say it? Maybe if you browse through them and click through them, you see one which you like better. Yeah, that's another thing we added. And you can see also in the background that when you click it, the ATM is also
The times
updated accordingly. Yeah, the times, everything changes. So this allows you to just look at the top 25 of results instead of just getting the what the algo of the optimizer thinks is the very best result. One other thing we added is this little toolbar here, which allows you to save your optimizer settings. And note these are the optimizer settings. It's not the ATM and it's not the results. It's just the settings. And the reason for why we added the option to save it is because we now have advanced settings. And if you open that, you can see there's a whole lot of options here for you to configure. And if you are actively using those, then you don't want to change the settings every time you open the optimizer. So you want to be able to save your settings and load them back from disk. So that's now possible with the just open and save. And if you go to new, it will just go back to the default settings. So if I disable stuff or change some values and I press new, then it will just go back to the default settings. And that automatically brings me now to the advanced settings. And the advanced settings for the optimizer allows you to restrict what the optimizer is allowed to use. By default, it's allowed to use anything. You can basically tell it what it can use. Let's say, for example, when we look at the target for position your target, you can say, well, the target when using ticks should be between 4 and 100 ticks. Or if it uses risk to reward, it should be between 0.5 and 10 risk to reward. And you can also turn it off if you say, well, I want my target always to be in ticks and it should have a minimum of 16 ticks. You can just fill that in and then it will only generate ATMs in ticks where the target is in ticks and the minimum target is 16 ticks. And you can do the same for the break even, for the trading stop, both the trigger and the stop itself, and the stop loss. So for each of those settings, you can define which type it can use, and for each type you can define the minimum maximum. For example, the stop loss might be for interesting, where you say I want a maximum stop loss of 22 ticks, for example, and I don't want to use it to ATR. And now if you If you press start, it will start optimizing it. And if we, for example, now stop it, let's see if it found something here. You can see it has indeed used a ATM of 10 ticks, which is within the specifications, and the same goes for the target, which is 84 ticks, which is also within the limits we set. So yeah, this gives you a whole lot of flexibility. You don't have to use it, as you can see. You can also use the defaults, but sometimes you may want to restrict it. And one of those times, for example, is when you are trading on a lower time frame on NQ. As you all know, NQ is very volatile, and having a trailing stop, for example, or a stop loss of 4 ticks, yeah, it may look good in the backtest, but in reality, it won't. You won't be able to set and change your stop loss so often. So to trail your stop loss that often. So for markets like that, you might want to say, well, my trailing stop, I want it to be 20 ticks for NQ, or my stop loss should at least be 30 ticks for NQ. Stuff like that. So that's another option you have. If you see you get an ATM where you think, well, the trailing stop or the stop loss is a little bit too tight for this market, then yeah, you can just increase the minimum and optimize again. Let's see, what else do we have? I think we went pretty far. And already, yeah, I think those were the main features for the V17. Let's see, are there any questions already, Simon?
Yeah, there was just a quick one. There's one on versions, but I've sorted that one. That's just a version on Ninja. Just confirming that has to be 8.1 or above.
Yep.
And then it's just Nez just wants a quick overview of just adding how to leverage to execute trades on painted signals. So basically, if you can add I guess just a plot. So I've explained, obviously it just uses plots or whatever the signal paints. If that plots as a signal, sorry, if that signal is a plot, then it can be used. So maybe you could just show that very quick. I know we've shown it before, but just a very quick one for Nez there. I don't think there's anything else at the moment popped in.
Oh, sure, we can do that. So just to make it a little bit quicker, let's go back to, let's say, 5 days and use a Renko chart. 3 days, also fine. And which one do you think has some plots we can use, or some things we can use? SSL maybe, or
SSL, Wicked Wave.
okay.
SSL one you just had up had unbelievable results.
Yeah, yeah, indeed.
And that's got hooks.
Gan High Low's got plots as well like that, hasn't it? With from signals, I think.
Okay, well, let's use the SSL. I think that's probably the easiest. So I'll first add it to my chart just so we can see it, and I'll just use the default settings. The only thing I'm going to turn off is the statistics, and if I'm not sure if it's, I don't want any alerts. Okay.
And you want Renko?
Yeah, just because it looks nice. I mean,
Okay.
And then to show that it's also working on the Renko. Okay, so here we have the SSL, and let's say we want to go long or short on these pullback signals. So the first thing would be to add a condition, and in this case I'm going to select the SSL, so I'm going to select new, and then in the select indicator and plot I'm going to select the indicator first, which was the SSL channel. And then we need the, for the long, we need the pullback long signal, I guess. Okay. Which should probably be greater than 0, I guess. And for the short, I want to pull back short signal. And that should probably also be greater than 0. And this, I'm just guessing here, if that's the case, but yeah, if you want to know, you want to be sure, you just open the NinjaTrader data box, as you can see here, and you hover over one of these signals. So let's find a pullback. Like, I think here's one, and we see indeed the pullback short and pullback longs. If you watch that, when I hover over a short signal, it becomes -1. And if I hover over a long signal, do I have a long signal here? No, it just be one big downtrend. I have to scroll back here. Here's a long signal. You can see that the pullback long there is 1 if I hover over that bar. So for a long trade, we need to look at a 1. For a short trade, we need to look at a -1, which I just did. So that's already should already work. Let's see if I can disable the trades in the SSL channel itself. Not sure if that's even possible. You know, Simon, if that's possible, can we disable the channel, ping bars, pullbacks?
Yeah, I don't think so.
What are you trying to disable? Sorry,
I
Alan?
can. I'm just
You
trying
have
to
to make them
disable the.
transparent.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to make them transparent. Otherwise, we have the trades from the SSL channel and from the ASP on the same chart. Let's see. Target text. We can also. This is already better. So yeah, here's an example how you could use it. You can see each green stripe is a long signal generated by the Algo Studio, and each red stripe is a sell signal. Not seeing those yet, but also not seeing much sell pullbacks. Well, let's check the Algo. And you can see the trades itself. And to make the trades a little bit more clear, we can use one of the new options now with the for example, the trade background. And there we have it.
Nice.
And for the shorts, did I made a typo in the shorts? Yeah, it should be less than the minus -1 for the shorts.
Yeah, data box is your best friend if you're building it,
Yeah.
if you're working with it.
So I hope this is a quick demonstration, explains it a little bit.
Yeah, I think that should be enough. Hopefully, I say it's been covered in the previous webinars anyway. Just adding these types of things, and just get onto the Discord and ask in there, because there's plenty of guys
And
doing
then-
this.
And then from there, of course, you can say, well, okay, now you have your signals. You can start with the ATM optimizer and start optimizing it for well, whatever you want, profit, K ratio, and it will try to find the best ATM for this algo. Now I've only loaded like 3 or 4 days, so you should load more days of data, but you can already see the equity curve improving. So that would be the next step, and then we get a nice equity curve and the hours on which you can best trade it, and then with the Monte Carlo analysis and the reports, you can further dive into your algo. Yep. Okay.
There's a few
That's
more questions
beautiful.
coming in. Zoom users asking about a future training videos to be going over how swing high and low settings work with retracements.
Yeah, that's probably my job. I'll do that.
Yeah, are you going to? Okay, great.
Yeah, I'll do that in a video because that whole series has got many more videos to come. So I'll cover that in one of the next ones.
Yeah, just so you guys know, Sam has been working hard on the video department. You can find them all on YouTube, but if you go to our product page, I also add all the videos over here, and well, we already have the first 4 videos ready.
And those are really for someone just getting started. That's emphasis basic algo series, right? How to load it, how to get started, how to create a basic algo, and they'll increase in complexity as we go. There'll probably be 20 of them by the time we're done.
Yeah. So
the other one for that, Sam. Sorry, come.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Simon.
Sorry. Yeah, Zoom user as well. Just looking for a way to program for the slope of an indicator. Again, that can be done. So that's probably one to go on one of those videos somewhere.
Yeah, the pullback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
No, just actually being able to work out the slope. So I guess if it's above a certain angle.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be interesting. Maybe we could use the pitch on that.
Yeah, that's an option, but slope and angles is always pretty difficult, because if you look here at the slope of this line, it's now like 45 degrees, but now it's already getting more like 30. And yeah, I mean, it's just depending on the scaling of your chart, right? I mean, so yeah, it is possible to detect the slope of an EMA, for example. But yeah, it's really a bit distorted because it just
You could
depends.
run it through our devil's pitch. You could do it.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
done it.
sure, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's no worries.
so you'd get that angle if you
Yeah.
wanted to do that, right? It's an option.
Yeah, yeah, a good suggestion for one of the future
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
Okay, any more questions
Yeah.
we have?
Howard, well, there's a couple about tick replay. We've got Bold Royal from Discord asking again about footprints not requiring tick replay.
Let's go over tick replay. The way NinjaTrader works is that, and this is very strange, if you are on a time-based chart and you want very accurate results for your backtest, then strange enough, you don't need tick replay. You can enable it, but it's not really needed, because NinjaTrader will just give you the most accurate data available. But if you are on a non-time based chart, like range, volume, tick, Renko, doesn't matter, then I would always suggest to enable tick replay, just because it's giving you way more accurate tick data than without tick replay enabled. If you disable tick replay, we still get tick by tick data, but it's not as accurate as when tick replay is enabled. And that, I know it sounds really strange, and I've been discussing this with NinjaTrader also. But yeah, that's the way NinjaTrader works. Now, if you think about order flow indicators, and especially our footprint indicator, there we have the same issue. If you run it on a time-based chart, tick replay is not really needed. But on non-time based charts, we always recommend to use tick replay. So also, yeah, that's also the case in the ASP. Now, I understood, and this was something I think. What was his name? I don't remember anymore. Just mentioned this like a half hour before the, or maybe an hour before this webinar, that our footprint indicator and probably other order flow indicators work just fine with ASP when enabling tick replay. But if you disable tick replay, then it won't work. That's something I will look into just to make it work. But yeah, I would like to explain you that disabling tick replay with order flow indicators on a non-time based chart is probably not a good idea, because your backtest results are not as accurate as they should. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Good explanation. Thanks, Erwin. How would the data optimization work using tick replay or playback connection?
I think those are two different questions.
Yeah, so I think I think you've explained tick replay, but
so yeah, tick replay is fully supported and even recommended when using a non-time based chart. So I think that's the first part of the question, but I didn't really get the second part.
Okay, the second part is it possible to use your algo for back testing on, say, your playback? So I guess market replay.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You can run it to market replay. You can use the strategy analyzer. Yeah, sure. Because that's that's maybe good to explain that the Algo Studio consists of two parts. The first part is what we see here, and that's for creating, backtesting, optimizing your algo. But then when you have one, or you get one from our Discord channels, because our members share a lot of algos, then you want to live trade it, or maybe market replay trade it, or use the strategy analyzer to further analyze it. For all those options, we have a Algo Studio Pro Trader, which is a strategy. And if you add that to your chart, you just select your algo template. So it doesn't matter which one. And then you can start live trading it. And of course, you can do the same from the strategy analyzer. Let's see if I have the strategy analyzer. Yeah, there it is. Let's wait until it opens. You can just select the Algo Studio Pro Trader. Here it is. Select your algo template. So, and then fill in the market you want to trade, the data series, the time periods, and then you can start backtesting it here as well. So yeah, you can use the strategy analyzer, you can use market replay, you can of course trade it live. That's
I have a
all,
quick
all
question
possible.
that I ran into really quickly. For enable trading, would you suggest continuous or one shot there? I know continuous is the default.
Yeah, it's a good question. Sam is asking because if you add this to your chart, it basically has three options on trade. If you set it to continuous, it will just trade your algo, and every trade signal will open a trade. The other one is starting it on paused, and then it will start, yeah, like it says paused, and you have to arm it manually by pressing the button. Or you can set it to one shot, where it takes one trade and then automatically goes back to paused mode. And you can maybe add it to my chart and see if so you can see how this looks like. But then I have to connect to data, because you can only add a strategy if you have data. So let's wait until this is loading up.
Then the other question I had, I couldn't figure out how to get commission factored into the strategy analyzer.
It's a part of one of the options in the strategy analyzer itself.
Okay, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's a checkbox: include commissions, yes or no. It's
Okay.
default from Ninja Trader. Yeah.
okay.
So we're just waiting for this to load, and then I'll add the strategy and show you the buttons it has. But yeah, this takes a while. Oh, there it is. Okay, so strategies, Algo Studio Pro Trader, and I'm just going to select a template. It doesn't matter which one. It's just for demo purposes. And then press OK. And notice that for a strategy, you always need to enable it. If you don't enable it, it won't run. So I'm going to enable it. And if you enable it, you can see those buttons over here. And now it's set to armed continuous. So any trade signal will create a trade. And if you set it to paused, you can see it's now paused. It's not doing anything. And when you set to one shot, then the next signal, it will open a trade and then automatically go back to paused again. So that's more of kind of a hybrid trading method, where you decide when to turn it on and off. And then of course you can enable only longs or only shorts, or even stuff like that. Yeah. So let's disconnect from data again, because I'm already hearing beeps from the alerts. Okay, so that's the strategy. Do we have any more questions, Simon?
Yeah, there's one from Steve. Is there an option anywhere to filter a signal based on bar length? So, for example, only take a trade if signal bar is 25 ticks or less.
Yeah, yeah, there is. So if you go to Algo again, and you go to your, I always like the logic conditions, but you can select, let's create a new one, for example. And you can select price, and then in price you have the candle range in ticks or the candle body range in ticks. So it depends if you want to look including wick or without the wick. So that's returning the candle in ticks, and then you can just say, well, if it's greater or equal then, and then fixed, I don't know, 5 ticks, then I want to go long or not. So yeah, you can do that.
Oops.
Simon, any more?
Yeah, Tony was just asking. Okay, you've answered that. Okay, TD answered that. If I only wanted to take 1 or 2 trades a day, is there a way to make that condition?
If you only want to take 1 or 2 trades a day,
We've
yeah, and I'm assuming you
got
then,
profit filter.
yeah,
If you
you
get
have
certain
profit filters and your daily profit
a-
and daily loss filters. But
not the
I'm
number
assuming
of
you have
trades.
multiple signals a day then. So maybe you have 10 signals to go long or short, but you only want to take 1 or 2 trades a day. There is no real option for this yet at the moment. No. But a good suggestion, by the way. But daily profit and daily loss filters, yeah, we have those. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're already there, Zoom user. And Abdul, would you mind going through setting up an algo to enter short at pre-market high using footprint stacked in balance to enter short 9:30 to 11 a.m.?
Whoa. There you go.
Yeah.
There's a challenge.
Yeah, that's always the problem. Of course, people want to see their own algo in works, but I can try. In the meantime, if you have any other questions, let them.
Yeah, we're
Zoom
just
user
explain them.
Zoom user just said about adding the daily profit max loss filter. Add that to maybe the optimizer as well, so that it can potentially factor that in when it's calculating.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, indeed. So I heard something about the footprint with stacked imbalances. So first thing in the meantime I'm going to do is just add a footprint chart, so I know where the stacked imbalances are. But a good idea about the daily profit and loss to maybe include that as well in the optimizer. Yeah, sure, why not? So there's the footprint, and let's just remove a couple of numbers. So I don't want the volume profile, I don't want the bar markers, I don't want the exhaustion prints, and I don't want the value area. And let's say that for the stacked imbalances, we extend them by 3-4 bars, so we can see, yeah, you can see now the stacked imbalances more easily. So the first thing about this algo was something about going long or short on stacked imbalances.
Yeah, so I thought there was
easy to do.
two separate elements almost. There was enter short at pre-market high, comma, and using stacked imbalance to enter short 9:30 to 11 a.m. They almost sound
Yeah.
like two separate. Is that right, Abdul? They're two separate signals.
Okay, well, let's focus on the stacked imbalances first.
Yeah, one at a time.
So I've added a new condition, and here I'm going to select new, and then I'm going to select the footprint indicator, video footprint, and you have to select the plots, but that's because that one is used for the strategies. And then for long, I want to look at the stacked buy imbalances. And those should be greater than, well, at least 1. And for the shorts, I want to look at the stacked sell imbalances, and those should also be greater than 1. And let's save this to 1 to 3, for example.
Don't forget to save.
Exactly. And now when you do that, because you added a new order flow indicator, you have to press F5. So I'm going to press F5. And then at least we should see now the trade signals for the stacked imbalances. Okay, it's still calculating. Any more questions? Okay, Simon.
Yeah, no,
In the meantime,
there was just one on Bloodhound Auto Trader, which I was just typing in anyway, but it was
okay.
just whether or not that's going to be further developed. And I was just about to say that you know, we'll be updating it to support future versions of Bloodhound, but we won't actually be actively adding new features to it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's also not for sale anymore. So we will keep updating it so it will stay working with the latest bloodhounds, but we won't further develop it anymore now. Okay, so we can see that the trade signals for the stacked imbalances are working now. So the next thing was something about pre-market high, I think.
Yeah, they are actually two separate. So Abdul confirmed they're two separate kind of signals, effectively. So
Yeah.
one was going short at pre-market high, and the second one was your
Okay.
stacked imbalances to enter short 9:30 to 11 only. So that's just a time filter, isn't it?
Yeah, if you want to have a time filter, then that's simple. You can just go to your ATM and just disable the checkboxes in which you don't want it to trade. So yeah,
Maybe all on
if
or
you only
all
want
off.
to,
You're just bumping into that, right? All on, all
yeah,
off.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll just create the logic as well. It's easy, isn't it?
That might be a good suggestion. Yeah, but you can just turn them off and only select the trading hours which you would like to have a trade open. Okay, and if you want to work with things like daily session highs, yesterday's close, pre-market highs, you need an indicator which has plots for that, and well, luckily we do have a couple.
Oh, coincidentally.
It's just for example the initial balance indicator we have. Where is it?
Right there.
There has plots for the pre-market high and low, so you can use those in your algo and to go long or short at the pre-market high or long. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Quick question from a really late comer, Ray Meeks, I think his name is. He's just
Ray
joined,
Meeks.
and yeah, Ray. He's just joined and wants to know if it's possible to go for the order flow to work intrabar rather than on bar close, but to prevent it taking multiple signals when using intrabar.
No, that's not possible. The way it works now is that we have a signal bar which is shown by these vertical stripes. And then the trade will be opened on the next bar, and especially with order flow signals.
Yeah, they come and go, don't they? Especially.
Yeah, when this bar is forming, this stacked imbalance might come and go. So you're basically then opening a trade on non-confirmed order flow signals. So yeah, no, that's not possible at the moment, and I'm not even sure if that's a direction you would want to go into, because yeah, you might think that you get in earlier, which is true, but on the other hand, you now are dealing with unconfirmed signals, and you often see that those signals will just disappear and come and go, as Simon said, during this bar is forming, and only when the bar is closed, the signal is valid. Yeah. So that's entire bar opening is not possible at the moment. No.
Yeah, you look at that bar you're highlighting there, the red bar, as it turned out, that could have easily been a green bar to start with, and looking like it was going to be, going
Yeah.
long. So it could have printed a long signal, and
Yeah.
where would that have
Yeah,
put you?
and that's not hypothetical. I mean, you often see that for example, we have this green bar, this bar turns green, maybe it even has a buy stacked imbalance, and then sellers come in and they push it lower, and then this stack buy imbalance disappeared, and here's a stacked sell imbalance. So if you went long into a bar on that stack buy imbalance, then that's what you will run into if you're going into a bar signals. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that's answered that, Ray. And a quick one from Steve. When trading multiple strategies live, would each strategy have to be on a separate window, or can they be run in tabs? Don't think it really matters, does it?
No, a tab.
No,
I don't
no.
think you can do it on tabs because it'll use the ATM that.
Yeah, you can. I mean,
No,
you can
tabs are
have
fine. They're like separate windows, effectively.
Yeah, yeah. You can use tabs. The only thing you should be aware of is if you're trading the same market, so let's say ES, in multiple tabs or windows, then you have the possibility that one algo goes long while the other one wants to go short. NinjaTrader doesn't allow that. If you want to do that, then you have to trade multiple accounts. Because in one account you can only be long or you can be short, but you cannot be both.
Yeah, makes sense.
Be prop accounts too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A rookie question from Bull Bay. What is the difference between using plots versus data series information?
Okay, that's pretty easy to explain. A data series in NinjaTrader is just as it says. It's data. It's historical data. So it's the bars on your chart you're looking at. So the red and green bars for a specific time frame. So now I have a data series of a 10 range, but you can also have a data series. You can see it if you open the data series window. You can say I want a 10-second or 10-minute or whatever you want, but that's the data series. It defines the time frame you're looking at, and of course the instrument that you're looking at. The plots are basically signals the indicator exports. So indicators can give for each bar they can have one or more signals or plots, which can specify basically anything they want. So for example, the stacked imbalances you see here is just a plot on this bar of the footprint indicator. But the footprint indicator can also on the same bar have other plots, for example, a stacked buy imbalance or a stacked sell imbalance or an absorption or whatever. There are so many order flow signals which can happen on one bar. So yeah, those are all signals. And you can use those in your own algos to make trading decisions. Okay, I hope I answered that one.
Yeah, quick question for Yolanda. I don't know what HIW means. HIW and why nest an indicator?
Hi, denk ik. How?
Oh, how? Sorry, sorry, Yolanda.
Okay. So let's go to for example this chart. Nesting indicators is actually pretty simple to do. I explained that in my last webinar, or in our last webinar as well. And let
again,
me
always
first
go back and check all the old webinars because we've done, I think this is the 4th one now, and there's lots of great information in all of those.
Yeah. I think maybe that's might be the best thing. Just go back to the previous webinar because we explicitly explained how to nest
It's
indicators
easy.
and
It's
why
easy.
you would want to do that. Yeah,
and it's common. It's just making sure they're in the same plot plot.
So if you go to our product page, then it's the last webinar, this one, and in there we explain why and how to do it. It's probably the easiest answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Another quick question from Abdul. How would I filter entry on a pullback to footprint POC?
The bars POC or
No, the footprint POC. So the POC from the footprint plots.
The POC of the footprint plot.
but
Basically
I think he means of the bar, not the entire POC of the day.
Yeah, no, the POC on that particular bar.
Bar, right? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, both are possible. If you go back, we looked at stacked imbalances here, but if you open this up and go to the signals, you will find the POC price here. So that's the POC of the bar. So you could use that, and the same with the value area high and low. And I think there's also the, but I have to check the POC of the volume profile. Let's see. I think it's also in here, or maybe not. No, no, that's not in here. No, we don't have a plot for the footprint POC, but you can also use a volume profile indicator to get the POC of the current session, of course.
We happen to have one.
Yeah, indeed we do, Sam. Yeah, so you could use that one and make your trading decisions on there. And yeah, the next question was, how would I filter an entry on a pullback? Yeah, then you have to look at how do you define a pullback? Is it when price touches the POC, or does it first need to be away from the POC and come back to it? So yeah, that's a little bit too vague to do right now. But we did create a pullback algo. It's in our free Discord channel. So you can use that to get a pullback and then join that with the rest of the logic to find the POC.
Learn too. See how somebody else has set it up, because you might want to tweak with it, but at least you have a foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best thing, Abdul, is to come into the Discord community if you're not already there, and if you have specific questions, then we can answer them and we can show you examples very easily. And there's other members there like Ray that are very active as well, so it's probably the best place for it. I've posted a link inside
Oh, you did
the
already.
Zoom
Yeah.
there as well, so we're good to go on that.
Yeah, just so people know, we have a Algo templates free channel where we post our free algos just for you to get started and see how things are done and to play with it. And note that these are pretty good algos, as you can see with the equity curves. So that's a way to get you up and running very quickly. And for those who did invest in the Algo Studio and bought it, they can if they bought it, they get access to our template VIP Discord channel, and in there our members are posting and sharing their own algos and discussing how to improve it. And yeah, as you can see, that's very active. So yeah, if you have bought the Algo Studio Pro, then you also get free access to the VIP channel. And thus even more algos which you can use. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably a final question from Ray. He's kind of tossed a hand grenade into the Zoom meeting here. Any chance you will offer a subscription to all TDU indicators for a yearly monthly fee?
Well,
Good
we'll have to
questions.
chat about that.
Kaboom.
Yeah. Yeah, good question. I don't
Thanks,
have an
Ray.
answer yet. Yeah.
Think about it.
Okay.
Probably, yeah. Tony, how are you seeing the take profit and stop loss from the signals generated from the signal bar on the okay. Okay, sorry, it just moved up. Signals generated from the signal bar on the historical trades. So you kind of showed that. That's that there, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. These are historical trades, so you can see them right here. Stop loss, take profit, entry, and the line. And if you have, for example, a trading stop, and maybe you can shortly demo it, then I have to have a profitable trade. So let me find one which actually does make money.
There.
Oh, this one does. Here we have one. Okay, so let's quickly add, for example, a small trading stop. Move trading stop immediately. And let's do ATR 2, for example. Is that something? That's maybe a little bit too much.
Yes, Tony, we added that. That's in this new version 17 chart. So you can actually have that background selected.
Yeah.
It was a feature request from somebody to make it look more like the Bloodhound Auto Trader and stats.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see the trading stop here going lower. Yeah. Yeah, this is for those who didn't notice, this is the new version 17. It's released, so you can download it from our website. If you just log in with your account, you can download it.
Okay. Another good question from Steve. When back testing multiple strategies, what are some of the statistics you recommend focusing on, e.g. expected
Ver-
value greater than 50, etc.?
Very good question
Yep.
indeed. Definitely not only the net profit. I always look at the profit factor, the drawdown, the expected value, and the average win and loss. Those are
Yeah.
basically the things I'm looking at. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah. It also depends, of course. If you are trading prop firms, for example, then your drawdown is probably way more important than if you're not, because those prop firms have a really small max drawdown or trailing drawdown you can use. Yeah.
And it's important to go through, if you run a back test, go look at the trades so that there's
Yeah.
not something unusual, big winner, big loser that's distorting the data.
Yeah, and that's good that you say that, Sam, because the same is for the backtest results. Sometimes, I mean, we try to make sure it doesn't happen, but sometimes you get an equity curve which looks too good to be true.
Yes.
And if something looks too good to be true, then you can bet it will be too good to be true. So on a healthy equity curve, you want to see. I'm not sure. I don't have the one from the beginning anymore. But you want to see little peaks and little valleys, and of course it should go up. But while going up, you also want to see it. Just have losers, have winners. If you have a straight line going up, then you know it's probably not realistic. So always use your common sense as well.
Quick question from Anthony. Just wants to quick explanation on the population settings. Why 100 to 200 are the defaults?
Okay,
Well,
so
everyone's going to 1,000 now.
No, that's generations.
that's
Population.
generations. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Population's how many you've got in each
So-
generation.
Yeah. So basically, what it is, it's a genetic algorithm, and it's a bit like humans and animals evolved over time. The most fit species evolved, and the ones who were not fit enough, like the dinosaurs, they became extinct. That's the same thing how the ATM optimizer works. And you could say, well, instead of all those millions of years it took us to be humans like we are here, you can think that as generations. So those are the number of years, you could say, which have passed since the beginning of time. And so 100 or 1,000 or whatever. And of course, the more generations you have, the longer the optimizer has on to evolve and generate new ATMs or species as you wish, and test those to see if they are better than the ones before them. And then the population size, well, that speaks for itself. It's just a number of individuals within a generation. So here we have between 100 and 200, meaning there are 100 or 200 ATMs per generation. competing with each other, and only the best ones will survive and make it to the next generation. And why 100 and 200? To be honest, it's just something I came up with because it gave good results. Of course, the more and the higher, the better, but also the slower the optimizer will become. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. And I found that 100 to 200 was working pretty well. So yeah, that's why these numbers are there, and I hope you now understand a little bit what they are doing. Yeah.
Thanks, Owen. There's no more questions at the minute.
No, we already an hour
Just
in, I
up to an
think.
hour, dead on an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Not be too
So
long.
no, I think we leave it at here.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I want to thank everybody for their attention. Again, if you want to trial or invest in the Algo Studio, then just go to our
Yeah, I've
product page.
posted a link in there as well, and there's a link to the Discord in there as well, so people have hopefully grabbed that if they need
Okay.
it. So should be all
And
good.
if you are not a member of the Discord, Simon also posted a link to that. It's free, so you can join for free. And like I said, we are having a nice community in there with people who are busy building algos, helping each other. So yeah, feel free to join, and hope to see you there.
Cool.
Thanks,
All
everybody.
right. Thanks, Erwin. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Simon. All right. I'll get to work on editing this, and it'll be up later today. And we'll see. We'll leave it. We'll wait and see if at the pace we're going with the new features, if we have at the pace we've been going, may have another one next Thursday. But we'll kind of leave that open-ended and see how we're looking. Okay, well, that's it. All right. Thanks to all that joined us, and keep your eyes on your email in case we have another one coming. We'll likely have another one at some point. I don't know if it'll be next Thursday, but we'll as we add new features and get new feedback from members, we'll keep these coming on a semi-regular basis. All right. Thanks, guys. See you
Thanks,
later.
everyone.
Thanks. Bye-bye.